Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for GWBC Radio's Open for Business. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, broadcasting live from GWBC Power, a partnering event at the Georgia Power headquarters. So excited to be talking to the Perfect Pitch winner, Ceata Lash, with the Puff Cuff. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I do not know what the Puff Cuff is, but I'm sure you can tell me all about it.
All about it.
So tell us about the Puff Cuff.
The Puff Cuff is the alternative to elastic hair ties. So in order for me to style my hair in its natural texture, I would always have to be using hair ties or altering like using shoestrings, whatever, because I couldn't find anything to accommodate the thickness and texture of my hair. Mm-hmm. But no matter what tool I used, it was always causing me to have a headache, like a blazing headache.
Right.
And not only that, the breakage from the tension and everything else.
Because you were kind of just rigging stuff, right? There was no kind of
totally
solution.
Rigging.
You were just trying to make
just
it work.
Rigging it. Whether it was, my go-to was boot-size shoestrings from Walmart. Just going and, just buying those by the case.
Those, right.
Right. And I would tie it around my neck and then cinch it till I get all my hair up.
The way you wanted it, right?
Yeah, just pray that it stayed there all day.
Lasted all day.
Right. But even if it lasted all day, I was an ugly acting person by the time.
You weren't happy.
No, hungry and angry, because that's when we lived in Chicago, and at least people in Chicago drive with a purpose. Here, it's a whole different story.
So now you have a problem, obviously, and now you were just trying to figure out a solution. What kind of compelled you, or what gave you? Did you have the skills to? Okay, let me solve this problem for everybody here. Let me just invent something that's going to solve this problem.
So, to be completely transparent, I was solving the problem for me.
Right,
and
exactly.
Figured that.
It was a bonus.
Right.
Everybody else got to solve the problem too.
Figured that, maybe some girlfriends, maybe I'd sell it on Amazon, Amazon or eBay.
So you weren't really looking at it as this, okay, business. This is a thing.
No, not at all. I literally was just like, I'm not going back to chemically straightening my hair. I just need to be able to.
Right. And it's ridiculous. This problem hasn't been solved yet.
Exactly. And then it took me a long time to believe that it wasn't being solved. So
because you kept searching everywhere.
Kept searching.
And asking friends, I'm sure.
No,
you were just trying to.
It was one of those things before curly hair was a thing. So all of my girlfriends, mom, dad, moms, aunties, grandmas, they were straightening their hair.
Right.
I was like a fish out of water.
So then, okay, you have an idea. Okay, maybe this will work, and then you just started iterating and trying different things.
Yeah, it was the idea first came from a little clip that my grandmother and mother had. That actually was by Goody 1,000 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was about the size of, was probably about $50, if people even know what $50 is nowadays.
Is that some new crypto thing?
Right, some crypto, and it's a half what? Is it paper?
Right.
So, but the teeth went all the way through, and I was like, okay, only thing getting through teeth like this that are so close to straight hair, I need something just with the teeth shorter and much larger.
But at least that gave you an idea.
It did give me the concept.
Right. And then, so now you have that, and then how did it kind of evolved? Were you actually like
whittling out? Yeah, I did. Actually, no, literally I did. I had a friend one of our good friends from college, he was a carpenter. So I was like, you know what? Can you
make me one of these?
Make me one of these. Make it out of wood.
Kind of sketch it out.
So I'm a graphic designer by career.
So you can draw things like that.
Yeah, I could draw it, but I couldn't make it
three-dimensional,
flat. Flat from 3D to 3D. So yes, he carved it out of wood for me, and then at that time I was working for a community college outside of Chicago, and of course that was when community college adjunct professors work at night. So I was like, I catalog stocked when the catalog actually was a catalog book, and just wanted somebody to meet me for lunch to discuss it, and finally someone did, and that's how it kind of went from there.
So then it went from this wooden prototype, and then you just started kind of
went from a wooden prototype to a 3D print, one of the first ones ever.
Right. You were probably excited about 3D printing, right?
I was.
Like,
I was
this
like,
is
this
really
is cool.
good.
Not that everybody's going to have one at home now.
Right, but it works for me.
But it worked. Yeah. So the adjunct professor in the engineering department that met with me, he connected me to a CAD engineer, and then the CAD engineer did my 3D prototype for me. We, worked through the different iterations there, and then
how many iterations? Like
maybe 4.
Really? So you were pretty close.
I was very close. The thing that kept tripping us up was how to do the teeth on it, and how to do the hook, because it was hard for them to understand that how much density and pressure thick hair could be could put on a tool. And they were like, yeah, you should just be able to use like a little, like plug-in stem for that rivet part. We're like, no, that ain't gonna work.
You're not understanding this.
No, right. This is serious hair, and I don't even have the most hair that that
somebody could have.
Right.
So then, they were just putting it right into your hair. Were you the person?
No,
kind of guinea pig of this?
I was the first, of course. But then I tried it on everybody on campus that would let me.
Right.
And then my church members and my family. So, yeah.
And then, like, you were trying to break it, right?
I was trying to break it, and we kept breaking the hooks.
Right.
And then finally, the manufacturer, my injection molder, he was able to help me come up with the design of the hooks.
Because they were thinking, no, we got this. And then you were like, no, you don't got this.
Mm-mm. No, I have several of the broken prototypes left at home.
It'll be part of the museum.
Right. Exactly. That's why I kept them like, this is going to be worth something someday.
So then what compelled you to get involved with GWBC?
Because I had every mentor say, you really need to get certified as a woman-owned business. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm a business yet. But
it didn't feel like a business?
It didn't feel like you know what? It felt like a business, but I had everybody telling me it's not a business, it's a product.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, well, this sure as hell feels like a business.
Exactly.
But
I'm feeling the pain of a business.
Right, feeling it right. So then, like I said, I didn't start on this path to build a business.
You were just solving your own problem.
I was just solving a problem and figured like, there's probably a couple other folks that could use this too.
And
but it's grown.
So what have you learned? That there's a lot of people that can use this solution?
There are more people than I know that I even realized, because in the very beginning, I'm an African American woman. I figured it was just going to be African American women using this. But then the more I put myself out in different situations, it was, no, this is a curly hair problem. This is not a curly hair is not a problem. I don't want to say that, but this is a solution for those with curly hair, and curly hair comes across all ethnicities.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, by the way, it works with locks. It works with braids. It works with wigs. If the wig is curly, it works. There's so many different applications.
Right. That you didn't even think about at the time.
Had no clue. Like even right now, we're partnering with the University of Rochester Medical Systems because their nurses have realized that there is a gap in being able to take care of their patients that have textured hair. So, and they don't teach you how to care for hair during nursing school.
Right.
So if you have textured hair, if you're admitted to the hospital, most likely you're going to be there for at least 5 days. So if you're 5 days laying on a pillow, all of the matted up hair, most likely, usually you end up having to get your hair cut off by the time you're, and it's like, that does something different to your dignity, your self-esteem, even the amount of care that you get, because you have maybe a nurse or doctor or whatever who has a different race than you.
Right. It's not even in their radar.
Right. It's not in their radar. And it's like not trying to be feeling any type of way about it, but it's just in your nature. You know, if you're looking disheveled, it's like.
Right. It's going to impact your recovery.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
So now you've learned a lot just going through this process.
I've learned so much. It's overwhelming.
Right. So now, what do you need more of? How could we help you?
Money.
Money? Are you looking for investors? Or are you looking for clients? What kind of money? Because there's smart money.
Right. There's smart money, and there's dangerous money, and there's bad money, and there's fast money. And then that's
all
the
kinds of
stuff
money
that you learn along the way.
That's right.
I'm looking for a strategic investor because I want to scale, and there's so many different applications for this. In the climate that we're in now, it's people aren't spending money the way they used to.
Right.
But there's so much of the market that I haven't tapped yet.
And the problem hasn't gone away.
The problem's not going away because now, ever since, COVID really, I think, sparked it, but it's a unisex hair tool. You have so many more men growing out their hair, and y'all's hair is better than ours because you haven't destroyed it with chemicals and stuff for the past 20 years or 30 years of your life. So when you do have curls, the guys' curls are way much better than ours.
So if somebody wants to learn more and connect with you, is there a website, social media? I would imagine this does really well on social media, your product.
Yes. So we are everywhere on social. You can purchase the Puff Cuff at thepuffcuff.com. We're also on Amazon, but of course I get more money if you purchase it directly from me and not Amazon. And on social, on every single channel, we are at ThePuffCuff at the Puff Cuff.
Well, congratulations on all the success and the momentum. You just have to be over the moon proud of what you've accomplished so far. This is such a big achievement.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you again for sharing your story. You're doing such important work, and we appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. This is great.
All right. This is Lee Cantor, back in a few at GWBC Power of Partnering.